We really need to do like podcast style either. We can just talk.
No, we're not doing podcast style at all. We're here doing some
Oh.
VoD review. Wow, this is like the third stream in a row where I click unmute the desktop audio and you guys start talking. And I'm like, well, all right, here we go. I guess I'm going to react to whatever's going on here. Hey, while we're doing a little behind the scenes, if one of you guys don't mind dropping a reply tweet to the earlier Flight Check tweet about how we're live and do a link to the stream and post something in the Discord and all that good stuff so we can get this VoD review going. All right, so...
I'm going to put that on you now because my computer's still...
Yep. On it right now.
Dope. All right, so if you guys did not, like me or Curly, get a chance to watch the FlyQuest games this week, we're going to go through them at a bit of a rapid speed. I'm going to do 2x through the draft so that we're not dwelling on it too much, and then down to like maybe 1.5 for the actual gameplay. We'll pause where we need to. But we're just going to be watching these games, talk about them for like the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Because obviously some 0-3 is a big problem. So
a little bit.
And against a couple opponents that maybe we shouldn't be losing to. So here we go. Going to start the draft off. Bands starting to come through. There's impact on your screen. So we got the Lysandra ban, Nico ban, Vi ban, Annie ban. Let's see what else comes through here. Nox, I know you already did a little bit of VoD review yourself. What are some things that we should be watching out for as we do our own VoD review this week, or this show?
For me, there's some... In both... I don't remember the third game off the top of my head, but in the first two games, there's at least at minimum 2 draft issues on each.
Yeah.
So, kind of, I'll point those out as we kind of go through them.
Oh, we went Yumi? Oh, man.
All
right, so we started first pick Aphelios. They respond with Ari, Milio, and then Yumi, Cassante. I know Milio is a champion. I don't know what they do. So that'll be fun for me to watch. I know there is support.
Milio.
I know there is support. That's about it.
Milio in lane is pretty not aggressive.
Okay.
But it is very hard to kill, if that makes sense. It's very hard to punish, but you don't ever have to play defensively against it for the most part, as far as I've seen. So, however, it is very obnoxious when being paired with poke champions because the W extends your range and adds a small magic damage modifier to it as well. So against poke champions, it can be very obnoxious, but there's not a lot of all-in potential, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give my general thoughts at the end once the draft's completely done.
For sure. All right, so draft keeps going. We pick up the Maokai and the Jace. They've responded with Lucian and Wukong. Here comes their last pick, Renekton. They banned the Gragas and LeBlanc. We banned the Gwen, the Malphite, so some top lane focused bans after we took Cassante B3. So there we go. That's the draft. Cassante, Maokai, Jace, Aphelios, Yumi, Renekton, Wukong, Ari, Lucian, Milio. Back to the Cassante for impact. It's like things never change. All right, I'm slowing down to 1.5.
So real quick, just to highlight some of the points that I brought up in this draft.
Yeah.
One, I find it very interesting that 100 Thieves values Milio over Nami here because Nami was unbanned, and so clearly they put a lot of stock into this Milio pick and how strong it is currently.
Yeah.
Stonks. So I thought that was quite interesting. And something that very, very much irritated me about our draft is we saved last pick for Vikla to just pick Jace into an Ari that 100 Thieves R1'd, right?
Mm-hmm.
there had to have been better choices here outside of Jace.
I really didn't like the Jace pick. Yeah.
And the other thing is because of the way draft works, like they picked the Wukong first, right?
Yeah.
And so in response to that, we pick Maokai and then the Jace, and then they follow up with the Renekton. And it's like there was not really much counter picking happening, in my opinion. It just I don't know. I feel like we could have capitalized on this draft so much harder than we did, and we just did not. So for me, that was a little frustrating.
All right, some early jungle trades here. Curly, I know you were waiting
Curly
for me to say when did he die again?
He died again.
Oh, dang it.
Well, all right. You know what? At this point, F it. It's just you and me.
Yikes. All right. I'll figure out how to get your I'll get your camera set up while this game keeps going. Do a little commentating for me while I adjust the monitors.
So as the game is playing out, what you'll notice is that Spica is going to go for a nice early level 1 invade with the help of Vikla and Impact, because, I mean, Vikla early on as Jace and Ahri does get early lane poke in and can get lane kind of shoved in due to that. And so it allows Spica to go in and get some pressure on, and that's good. What you'll notice is if you, right now at like the 230 mark, you see a ward that was placed there right on Spica's Raptors. That was placed by Nuke Duck earlier on at about the 145-minute mark. And what that does is it allows Closer to realize exactly where he is. So even though Spica does a good job of crossing through mid without being seen, he gets spotted on his Raptors, and basically Closer's like, oh, I know exactly where you are. And so you can see Closer comes down out of the red side jungle, immediately starts putting pressure onto him, and immediately it's like Spica has to back off, and it's just kind of this awkward tug of war for a second, right?
And so it feels like Double Lift is being very aggressive in this lane as well. Like we saw some aggressive trades at the start of the lane, Double Lift going in on Prince when he can now. Closer just invading the jungle.
And that's all because of that one singular ward that Nuke Duck put down. They know where Spica is at all times, so yeah. So
okay,
it's just
here we go, big fight. Prince barely lives. Double Lift burned. Looks like Busio burned heal. Double Lift burned whatever his second spell was. Prince burned everything. Vulcan had already burned something. Vulcan burned everything. So behind in sums because Double Lift, Busio still have their flash up. I can't believe Nuke Duck doesn't have the 100 in front of his name. That's the funniest thing.
That's the only time I've ever seen a tricode not on a player.
All right, so I just saw the first blood.
Do you mind rewinding just a little bit?
Yeah, well, let's go back.
So go back to the 2v2 fight where Prince has to blow everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and try and understand the logic and reasoning of why Prince decided to try and go for this 2v2 kill.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we just have to accept, like, it just did not work out.
Right.
And so what happens at this point
is he's going in, he's going for Double Lift. He doesn't have... Yeah, he's still early, but he blows everything, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't even like a minion advantage or anything either. I don't know. It was very confusing. So, but basically what happens at this point is Closer realizes, hey, the bot lane is now chunked out.
Yeah.
And it can no longer help Spica out for when he invades into the jungle. So immediately you'll see Closer goes back into the red side jungle and pushes like everything. Oh, sorry, I'm a little off.
I'm at 445 right now, so
yeah. So basically, what ends up happening though, from my memory, is because the bot lane gets pushed off, Closer takes and steals red from Spica, right? So now Spica is now behind, and so obviously the only place Spica can go is to the blue side, and Closer knows this. So you'll watch. They don't see each other ever, but Closer knows exactly where he's going, and so they mirror each other, and they go both to the top side.
Yep.
Spica goes in, starts trying to clear his camps, and because at this point, Nuke Duck and Someday both have shoving lanes, winning lanes, they both have first move. And so at this point, Closer's like, hey, come down, and let me invade his blue buff. And I honestly don't even think they were planning on getting a kill here onto Spica. It was just, let me just take his stuff and let me get him even further behind.
Right.
And so they come into the jungle, and next thing you know, oh hey, Spica can't do anything. And it's very confusing because Spica does not flash here, right? And he could have lived, and I think he should have flashed to live, because honestly, you're just standing over gold at that point, and it's just not worth it. But I think my logic is he was so desperate because he's already so far behind. He's had 2 camps stolen from him, one of them being a red buff, and basically all of his lanes are getting shoved in or losing. He's just very desperate. He's like, I need money, I need farm, I need to get strong. And so they come in, and he's like, I gotta get this camp, right?
Yeah.
And he just bites the dust because of it. So that's kind of my take on the situation. By all means, you can throw in your own opinion too.
No, I think closer really bullying Spica for sure. I'm gonna hit play again. So so Someday drops the ward here. They spot out Spica. They see he's at like 40-45% HP. Somebody's got his max rage built up. And he's still got flash. I mean, this is an easy flash Renekton stun. Oh, also, by the way, Spica level 3, Someday level 5 here. I mean, this is easy for him. So it goes in, easy stun, easy kill, unassisted. And, Someday's just in a huge advantage at this point. So is a closer on the Wukong. So, yeah, really unfortunate start for Spica here. He's behind. Yeah, that's just really bad position to be in.
Yeah, and at this point, Spica's just not really in. Like, as a Maokai, you're just no longer in the game at this point, right? You try and get to 6. You hope your lanes can get some form of establishment for themselves, and then you play for objectives later on because you're Maokai, right? And so you drop your ult, you try and root someone down, and you let Prince take care of them later on, right?
Dang,
unfortunately,
ooh, dang, Vikla almost had that kill. That could have really changed some stuff if he had been able to get that.
It very much would have changed the tempo of things, and unfortunately, it's just a trade of flashes, basically, in some. So it comes out neutral, comes out even, and it is what it is. So, But it's nice because you should keep in mind that opens up a possibility of a gank later on from Spica, but the problem is now Spica's so far behind.
Right, and he's like, Double Lift and Busio are 5, Spica's still level 4. They're going in, they don't know Spica's here, theoretically, he hasn't revealed himself. But they're just trading, and Spica's just wasting so much time sitting here. Now he just recalls, and nothing happens with that potential gank.
This is purely Spica just desperate because he's had so many camps taken from him.
Looking for any angle he can, basically.
And it sucks because it's Prince and Vulcan don't have summoners right now, whereas Double Lift and Busio do.
Yeah, Prince's cleanse just came back up. Vulcan has exhaust, but he's about to get heal. Prince still has no flash. Wow, Impact. Oh, almost could have gotten the kill there. Really close. Ah, man. There's a couple instances. Okay, and there's Double Lift getting the bot lane double kill.
And yet again, so the double kill here. So 2 things, if you want to pause for a second.
Yeah, well, is there a replay coming up of that bot lane double kill? Maybe I'll pause it when we get to that moment.
Yeah, okay, so we can do that. So while that's happening, though, so to highlight the top side, Impact plays it almost perfectly as well as he can, and between him and Spica, they both blow flashes on both Someday and Closer, which is great.
Yeah.
It's okay, cool. Weak side top doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's just being an absolute nuisance. He's blowing summoners, and he's not really allowing Someday to really push his lead any further than it needs to be. And so at this point, you would figure it should be, okay, bot lane, I know you're losing, you're down sums, etc. Just sit back, scale, farm. Theoretically, you should outscale a Lucian.
Yeah.
So you should be good on that front, right? And then, literally, as if it's a comedy skit, the camera pans down, and there's a 1/3 HP Milia with his heal up and his ult up, and so obviously it's more realistic that he's at effectively 66%, 70% HP.
Okay.
Prince and Vulcan decide to go for it anyway, chunk him down to 1/3 HP, which blows his ult and his heal. But while this is happening, if you'll notice, both of them were 5 at the beginning of this fight, right?
Yes.
They have it timed so perfectly that Double Lift kills the minion, they both hit 6, they both immediately ult, and they just completely destroy Vulcan and Prince.
Yeah.
And so that is for me, a very uncharacteristic mistake that Prince made, and possibly Vulcan too. I don't really remember Vulcan in any of his EG games ever trying to go for an engage and then mistiming when their enemy bot lane is going to hit 6, right? It's like, because that's a huge power spike.
Yeah, it is.
And so it's just a huge blunder, and I highlighted it in my like little text review that I did, but this was just a very poor mechanical game from Prince and Vulcan, and it was very uncharacteristic too. And at this point, bot lane's done and over with.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this. And so you have that. And so just to take stock, bot lane is pretty much out of the game. Speak is out of the game. Vikla is still in it, but he's not really getting a lead like I think he should as the rank 1 North American player currently.
Well, and also if you're on the Jace, you want to be getting ahead early, right? Like you really
exactly.
You really want to get some early kills, early pressure, hit your power spikes earlier so that you can be doing the damage you need to in these early team fights. And I mean, the problem I think with like putting impact on this Cassante is there's only so much he can do on this Cassante when the rest of the team is so far behind. So I'm going to hit play on this fight and to see how it goes. So they see the Milio. Super low, like literally 10% HP, but double lift hits 6 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he still hasn't burned the ult. There he goes. Now the ulti is off. Kills Prince first, and then it's just easy from there. Yeah, that's tough. So now we're at 10 minutes in, almost a 2k gold lead for 100 Thieves. We did get Herald there, so it's like, if I'm watching this live, right, I'm thinking to myself, okay, bot lane's behind. Hey, if we can drop Herald in top lane or mid lane and get some solo gold onto these 2 carries, then maybe there's something, there's a way back in here. But I am not optimistic, knowing how this game ends up turning out. Feels like we're just behind. Like, here's someday he's 9, Impact is 8.
And that's fine. Just so people aren't like
Spica's still
level
level 6, like Vikla, honestly, like in that little engage right there that you saw, like it's not like he's doing badly. He's doing fairly decently in some of these like one-on-one fights. Like I think the mechanics are there for him. I just I mean as we'll see in like some of the other games this week, there were some other issues that just present themselves. So
it's just frustrating though, because like this match you're playing against Nuke Duck, and like not that Nuke Duck isn't a good player.
Yeah,
he is,
not
right?
shitting on Nuke Duck here, but it's like he's not played pro for a couple years now, and like I'm sure he's playing solo queue, but he's not sitting in scrims. He's not getting the daily grind in. Like he's been coaching. All right, so we're going for the 3-man dive onto Someday here, and we. How do we not get that kill?
So this is the damning part for me for Vikla, right? So you make the roam, good. You're about to do a 3-man dive onto Someday, good. You fire your EQ Shock Blast combo and you miss. Okay, that sucks.
I mean, that would have killed Someday.
Don't turn around though. If you miss, you need to continue to commit to it, because at that point, Someday's still dead, Nuke Duck TP's in, and then there's a small world where you can capitalize that, or you can still walk away and it's fine, and you still got something out of it.
Well, I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, here comes the Maokai ulti. This Renekton, sure, it's level 10, but it's at 45% HP, and you've got the Cassante, which hasn't ultied yet, and the Jace, which hasn't used its combo yet. I mean, this should be a kill. So, and so we get... So they're right on the edge. Hang on, let me rewind that like 3 seconds, because I want to see exactly how that rolls out here. Blast comes over. Do this real slow. Okay, so... I've played Jace before. I don't remember quite the mechanics. Can you just, like... Because I see here... And I'm pointing to the computer screen like you all can see. I don't know if folks can see my mouse. So he drops the E here, right? I guess, like, as soon as you drop the E, you can fire the Q through it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But if I go back... Okay, so Someday uses the dash. And I don't even know if he sees Vikla at this point. I'd love to know that. But he dashes to try to get out of the Maokai ulti. And that's when Vikla blows his combo and completely misses it. And yeah, I see what you mean. He just turns... He just turns and walks away. Oh, you know why he turns and walks away? I know exactly why he did it. He thought the kill was secured.
Yeah, but that's the point though. Is like,
but then you
ever
see,
just assume.
you know they're going to OBS being a pain.
VoD reviewing is pretty hard with.
All right, there we go.
Balancing wiffies.
Well, I don't know what's going on with the internet right now, but all right, let's get Noxwar back in frame here. There he is. There's that lovely face.
Hello.
All right, Curly, we're at 12:23 in the game. Hopefully, we don't.
Yeah, I'm a bit ahead.
All right.
So I was just
I assume, are
Curly,
you watching on 1.25? Because I'm watching on 1.5.
I'm watching on 1.5. So.
Oh, so I just jumped the gun. Gotcha.
We don't have more.
So I was telling Curly though that after the top lane dive and the second double kill in bot lane, I didn't bother VoD reviewing at that point because like effectively like there's nothing else to learn. It's just the game's done, right? So I mean, by all means, if you guys want to continue throughout the rest of the game, we can. It's just,
I mean, let's take it up to like 20 minutes. All right, so Impact TP's down for some. I don't understand that at all. And the TP is
just
Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I do want to watch this. All right. So they're okay. So let's hang on. So we're about to watch the replay here. So you've got closer double lift Busio here.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a Lucian who is 2 kills up on you. A support that actually can like carry its own weight. You've also got the Wukong. All you've got is your Aphelios that is not online and a Yuumi. And you're going to go in and try to 2v3 these guys? I don't understand that decision making.
Well, so my thought process.
He just walks up. Oh man. So Prince just walks up and Double's just like, kill this guy. like come on.
So my thought process on this is you're so far behind. The whole team's behind at this point, right?
Oh my!
You just have to start. You have to start flipping stuff. Like it looks bad. It looks really bad.
But that's not a flip. That is just getting even further behind.
That is just a
like
flop.
I understand like the concept of like, okay, we got to flip a fight and try to win it. But a 2v3 where you're already behind, like take the 2v2. Like try to kill double lift Busio, but not when the Wukong is there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I also Prince and Vulcan have not been making smart decisions in this game in the first place. But that's my one little bit of solace is like that's the thought process. You have to get something if you want a chance.
Yeah, we'll take this to about 20 minutes because I know this is a fast game and also a perfect game, so don't really need to see that.
Hey, we got
technically not perfect. We got Herald and a tower.
Oh, great point. It was like throwing a 2-hitter in baseball. Hey, in better news, Fly Challengers plays today, and they're taking on AoE Gold. I'm predicting the 2-0.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
Okay, that's fair.
I thought about it. I was like, no, unfortunately, AoE is looking a little bit better than I was expecting him to.
I have a discussion topic that maybe while we can just like let this play for like the next 4 or 5 minutes while we talk about this. So I know that a lot of the common consensus has been Vikla played really bad this week, and also that like he did not super impress in spring either, really. With a lot of the indications being that Masu might be the AD carry of the future. What are y'all's thoughts on Vikla Prince boomerang back to Korea And next year, your lineup is Impact, Spica, Spirax, Masu, Vulcan. How do you feel about that?
So don't get me wrong, I love Spirax, but Spirax has not been impressing me all that much lately.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because in games that this has kind of been like spring and summer. There's been games I've noticed where it's like, if for whatever reason Masu is behind, or if Yuji's not able to get the team going exactly where he needs the team to get going, and the responsibility kind of falls on Spirax. Spirax hasn't really been able to take up the mantle. He's been a very good supportive mid, and in a roster where you have a hard carry Yuji and a meta that is very much assassin based, and then a godlike AD carry in Masu, it kind of works out for the time being, right? But you have right now Impact and Spica, who are not really hard carries, and it's really just a single Prince or like AD carry. Like, I don't know, you'd have to change junglers to be more heavy hard carry if you wanted Spirax to work, in my opinion.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Curly, what do you think about that idea?
I mean, I think it depends on a lot on how Spirax does this split. Like, if he is able to step up a good amount and like really improve, I could see a world where he might be the LCS starter. Because especially when I think we were talking to Nick last year, it's kind of like with Spirax and Yuji, and even when Philip was in that, it's like you want these players to potentially be upgrade to your main roster in the next 3 years, and that would be about the time, like 2-3 years. It's like, all right, he's been incubating in NACL long enough, maybe he's ready. But more likely what I would see is potentially a buyout. Like, if you're running that roster and you're kind of domesticating talent again, I would see us attempting to poach Jojo Pune.
I was just about to bring up Jojo Pune Masu to FlyQuest. Oh boy.
But we still got a split, so we're a couple months ahead. We can start the roster debates in like finals of Worlds, all right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of an unfortunate week, and I don't want to go doomer just because it's been looking unfortunate. Speaking of looking unfortunate, I just watched Vikla get killed again.
Yeah, again.
So that was a fun. Actually, it was the first death, believe it or not. But yeah.
So keep in mind that in that theoretical roster, you don't have a single import slot that's being used. So I don't see a world where we grab JoJo. We're definitely taking someone from Korea.
Oh, you really? Yeah, you think we'll go the Korea route again?
Hey,
that or a European mid. I don't see us taking a domestic NA mid. Or if we do take a domestic NA mid, one of like Spica or Vulcan or Impact is gone because they want to get you want to be utilizing your import slots, right?
Yeah.
Look, if we're going international mid, as I would rather go EU personally.
Yeah, I mean you can do an EU mid too. That works. But my point is,
hear me out. Fly caps.
No. I say no. I say no to that one.
No, I also disagree. As much as I respect caps, I don't. I wouldn't want him on our team.
It's a fat no on that one.
I also just don't feel like he would vibe with the NA scene too much.
No, I don't.
Actually, the day we see NA caps, we should be concerned for the LEC as a whole.
Right.
Because something is wrong.
All right, so this game.
Yeah, this
we're down
game
7K.
You want to go to TSM?
Yeah, let's go to TSM. All right, so let me pull up that game.
Hey Andrea, go grab Zex Trap. We're starting TSM.
My question is, while we're setting up for the next thing, how do we pull off a successful invade and then get only one of the buffs?
So, okay, your computer died at this point, but what I highlighted was at the 1 minute 45 mark, Nuke Duck puts down a ward on Spica's Raptors camp, and so when Spica crosses back down through mid, even though he does a good job of avoiding the minion vision, he gets spotted on that ward, so Closer immediately recognizes where he is, and so Closer comes down and immediately starts pushing him off. He's like trying to invade and steal Spica's red, and there's a moment of shenanigans that it doesn't work out, and then Prince and Vulcan take a bad trade, and that's the one where like all sums are blown and Prince barely lives. And then Closer comes back in because he knows he can't get pushed off by Fly's bot lane, steals the red from Spica, then proceeds to go top, mirroring Spica, and that's when Sunday comes down because Nuke Duck and Sunday both have pushing lanes, and so they can collapse on the Spica, and that's where the first kill comes from.
Yeah, I know. It was wild to watch.
All right, I
was like, cool.
I've got FlyQuest TSM loaded up, ready to go. Looks like it's good to go on the stream. You fellas ready to start this draft?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Let's rock and roll. All right.
So
Captain Flowers and Kobe, baby.
Our B1 through 3, I thought was gorgeous. I was very shocked that TSM let us get this core of Milio, Aphelios, and Annie. Like, that is crazy that we got away with this. Those first 3 picks.
And like, hey, let's set the stage here. Like, this is a game that 95 times out of 100 I expect to win. You know.
So while you mentioned the B1, talk to me about Annie because I don't see.
Well,
I don't see where
B1 was Milio.
Yeah. So B1 Milio, that's good. Getting Aphelios, that's good. That bot lane should win 10 out of 10 times. But like when it comes to Annie, like it supposedly a good pick. Personally, I didn't see best showing from Viklet. So like, why is Annie in the meta right now? What does she do, especially with when this whole roster fleshes out?
She's a point and click stun bot. Like that is just valuable, right? Like someone comes near you and you have your stun loaded, Q, done, you're stunned. It's just that good.
So yeah, here we are. We're here through first 3 picks. So we've got Milio, Aphelios, Annie. They've got Lucian, Nami, Jarvan. So like Nox, where are your what's your goal here from the for the rest of the draft? Like what would you be doing here? Ignore what else came through, but you still got to pick a top lane and a jungler, and also where are your bans going? They've got top and mid open.
I mean, you've already got your core, right? And so at this point, you're drafting for a weak side top laner for impact. So like you have a wide variety of options there, and then you're drafting for a jungler. And TSM knows this, by the way. So we banned Vi and Wukong. There's 2 junglers gone. They banned Maokai. There's 3 junglers gone. Yeah. And then on the second draft phase, they go ahead and they ban Viego as well. Like there's 4 junglers gone already at that point. Yeah. On top of the 5th one from Jarvan. So 580 junglers already gone at this point. And you've already drafted an AP mid. So at this point, you're starting to have to think to yourself, like, what 80 junglers do I want Spica to play? Because that's pretty much what you have to draft already. And for me, like, there's like 3 options. You have the Rek'Sai, which was picked. You have Graves, which I personally believe was the choice to go through here, or Kindred.
Yeah.
I know Iza in our Discord
known Kindred player.
Yeah. So Iza was really like on board with the Spica pick, or the Kindred pick.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think Graves adds a lot more utility on top of tankiness, on top of 80 damage, whereas putting Kindred in here is very much just all in 80, like, go. And I don't really think that's needed here. I wanted a little more utility. I think Graves is just more around all balanced in this particular aspect. So for us, I was really hoping to see that. I don't understand Rek'Sai right now. Do you guys understand Rek'Sai? Like, why are teams picking Rek'Sai? Like, Santorin picked it for Dignitas too and didn't look good on it either.
I'm not super privy to why the meta is the way it is.
Honestly, this is the most out of touch I've been with any meta. It's hard for me to figure out, especially because this is the only week we, as the LCS, had this patch, so things might change next patch, aside from the fact that, of course, we're going to see Aphelios and Milio and Lucian and Jinx and Zeri, some of your classics.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going through the draft here. So, already...
Another option was Xin Zhao.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do like Spica's Jin Zhao.
I don't know.
Well,
but the point is, like, I'm actually really happy with FlyQuest's draft outside of the jungler pick here. And there's actually a moment in this game later on, and I'll highlight it when we get to that moment. But, like, he literally just dies in a team fight just because he's, like, in the middle of all this AoE. He's not even getting, like, focused down or targeted. He just dies from, like, all the shit that's flying around the screen because 80 Rek'Sai are weak as hell.
Cassante ban.
And then TSM end up following it up with the Cassante ban, and then they end up drafting LeBlanc, which it's fine. It's pretty even lane into Annie, in my opinion. And then we follow with the Rek'Sai, which is super confusing, and then the Ornn, which I'm fine with the Ornn. The Ornn is super cool, and especially if Prince gets going and you can upgrade his Mythic, and then he's just super strong at that point. So literally 4 out of the 5 champions on FlyQuest team I think is great, and the actual draft order of it is very, very good. I just don't understand this Rek'Sai. And then TSM follows up with this Malphite, which
we love
pretty smart,
playing
honestly.
into Malphite on FlyQuest, don't we, folks?
Yes, we do. But it's actually pretty smart from TSM's end, because like the one consistent DPS threat that you have is the Aphelios, right? And so you stack armor and you make it an absolute pain, because Annie's not going to burn you down. It's just going to be one giant chunk, and then she's tickling you the rest of the time. So overall, I still think, I don't know. The drafts are pretty even, I think. Top lane's whatever. It's like just both weak sides. Mids are pretty even, and then bot lane theoretically should be in favor of Fly with the Aphelios Milio compared to Lucian Nami.
Be in favor of Fly.
Hi Zex, how's it going? So you're gonna enjoy listening to me commentate on this game. So bot lane should be in favor of Fly. Mid lane's pretty neutral. Jungle should be in favor of TSM personally with the Jarvan over the Rek'Sai. And then top lane is neutral because they're both weak sides, right? You guys have any dissenting opinions on that, or does that sound pretty much what you think?
No, that sounds like what I would expect.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah. So Zach, what I was saying is I think Jarvan is a far better pick, and TSM did a good job of pinching Spica's champion pool in terms of 80 junglers. I was highlighting other options that I would have preferred. I think Graves here would have been perfect. But I really don't understand why Rek'Sai is the choice here. I'm baffled by it. It doesn't make any sense. The rest of Fly's comp I actually love, and I think in general beats TSM's comp, but this Rek'Sai just absolutely hampers it. So now that we're getting into game, if I remember correctly, and I'm kind of going off of my notes here, nothing really. There's level 1 shenanigans that happen, right? Like a lot of dancing back and forth, but nothing like really substantial happens. There's not really any big wards placed down, as far as I'm aware. Nothing really happens until basically top lane, and when Speaker makes his way up there. Scrim champ probably. I guess
the bot river, yeah.
Clearly LCS teams are playing it, right, Zex? Like Dignitas Santorin was playing it earlier. It didn't look good there either. But I don't know. I agree with you. It just feels like a scrim champ, right? Like someone popped off in scrims was like, oh, it has to be good. But in reality, I don't think that's the situation.
What if it's a solo queue champ? What if someone had a bad experience against a Rek'Sai so much in solo queue that they're just like, F it, I'm putting it on the LCS team?
It's possible. It's totally possible. So normal like laning here, bot lane's just doing their thing, mid lane's doing their thing, top lane's doing their thing.
A little bit of poke, a little bit of farm.
Yeah, Speak and Boogie are both farming. Unfortunately, I didn't take great notes up until the first gank happens. So I'm trying to remember the pathing as I'm watching this.
It looks like they're headed in opposite directions. It looks like Boogie's going to be heading towards the bot side of the map, and then Speak is going to be heading towards the top side.
Oh yeah, so okay, because I'm maybe 5 or 10 seconds behind watching on stream, but basically, Speaker comes in, tries to get this blue, doesn't get it, and so he's like, okay, I'm gonna F off. And so I do want to highlight that at least in these first 2 games, passive isn't the right word, but when Prince and Vulcan are not all-inning, they were winning lane. They were up in CS, they were getting lanes shoved in, they had tempo advantage, but they threw it away in both of these, not in this game particularly, but in the first game they threw it away by trying to go for a fight.
So I've paused it here at 410 because it looks like Speaka's about to gank a low health Malphite.
Spoiler alert!
So,
So something I want to highlight here is this is a very good call from Impact because Hanser's lane state or wave state is absolutely just fucked here. He's kind of just stuck in the middle. He's low HP, and what basically Impact could do is he could freeze the lane, and he's just stuck there, right? So Hanser's like, okay, my options are either I back and my lane's just completely screwed for like the next like 5 to 10 minutes, or I can try and get this shoved in, back, and hope I don't get ganked. And so he goes for option B, and I mean, you can let it play out if you want, Sandy, but he ends up getting ganked here because of how bad his lane state is. And this is all from Impact. Like, Impact set this up perfectly.
Yep.
Good job, Impact.
Nice knock up.
And
easy,
great timing from Spica.
Easy first blood.
Beautiful. Beautiful first blood. Then we jump to the mid lanes for some shenanigans.
Yeah, and then Boogie actually ends up making a very good play here. I'll let it play out here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, so we've got an early lead. Like, we're winning top lane. Early CS advantages in mid and bot.
Yeah. So far, everything's good. It's playing out like it should.
Oh, oops, I'm on the highlights. That's awkward. I want the actual match. There we go.
I'm seeing a control ward in the bot river from Vikla. Ooh, all right. So Boogie.
Yeah, so Boogie makes a good play.
Oh, wow.
All right, hang on. Wow, we've gone split screen. All right, let's back this up a little bit.
Boogie with a really good gank to counteract the gank that we gave in earlier.
So, and this time, it's the exact opposite situation. Basically, Impact is trying to get his wave shoved in the turret, and Hanser does a brilliant job of baiting him in. Like, he's, like, right up in the wave, like, the minions are hitting him. And so Impact's like, let me just chunk you out, and then, surprise, here's Boogie. So it's actually, on the opposite end, it's very well played by Hanser, and then Boogie's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
So, there's that gank.
Still securing early dragon, though.
Yeah, so I will say, while this is happening, Speaker makes the correct decision of like, hey, Boogie's top side. Our bot lane has shove into a Wild Turtle and Chimes turret.
Yeah.
We have move. Like, we can move first, and so they take Drake. All well and good. Very standard. So something I do want to highlight here, though, is like you're right around like the 6:30 mark, right, Sandy?
I'm at 7 minutes. I can pause real quick though.
Okay. So 7 minutes. You'll notice at this point, FlyQuest are going to go ahead and back because they got the lane shoved in, and they're going to make a rotation to top side to begin Herald, basically, right? And so this is again first move by Fly, which is good. You'll notice a couple different things. One, TSM's bot lane is still in the bot side, taking care of their wave that got shoved in, and they're wanting to shove it back into FlyQuest's turret, which is probably in general, unless you're really willing to make a sacrifice to like stop the Herald play, it's the right decision. So they're still down there. They're not going to be able to have first move. It's going to be a while before they actually make it up there. You'll notice Spica is down in our red side jungle and is about to start making his way up because our bot lane's making their way up, which is all well and good. And as you continue to play it out, bot lane makes their way up to the top side. Hanser is still there and is going to do a fantastic job of marking Prince and Vulcan to make sure they cannot get down into the river itself where the Herald is at. And then while this is happening, Nami begins traveling up through the river to make sure Vikla, or at least, not to make sure Vikla, to help Insanity get the lane shoved in. And because Chime is here, Insanity feels a lot more confident. He goes for poke onto Vikla and chunks him down to half HP right before the fight is about to start. Like, you see these tiny little things that are starting to set up for this fight?
Yeah.
So that happens. Vikla's chunked. Hanser's marking and preventing Prince and Vulcan from getting into the river, even though Prince and Vulcan are like shoving the lane in, which is also correct.
Yeah,
and because all this is happening, TSM gets access to Herald first.
Yeah.
They get the setup first.
So we come in for the collapse. Oh, okay, hang on. Because I'm actually going to slow this down because I'm going to rewind it and slow it down a little bit because, like, I remember watching this. I did have a chance to watch this part a little bit, I think. And this was just a wild wildly bad moment to me. All right,
so Prince and Vikla both.
I already watched the first.
Back at 8:20, so Prince is just walking up. By the way, with Haunter and Boogie right there, and he knows Insanity has left the lane, right? So he's got to be nearby.
Yeah.
And he ultis in. There's Chime. And then, boom, there's the Malphite ulti right on top. And right into the Boogie Jarvan ults him here, into the Nami ult, and it's just over. And he just gets blown up. And so he's, like, effectively out of the fight now. You've got Vulcan and Spica in here. Vulcan's not going to do anything. Vikla is fighting Insanity off to the side and losing.
So...
And then Spica, I don't know why Spica goes in here with the Rek'Sai ulti. Like, this fight, in my mind, is already lost. You have to leave. Like, you have Flash. Just, like, get out. Like, there's no need for
when your ADC gets chunked down and isolated like that, and then your, like, mid laner is also losing. Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think Vikla could do here is, like, flash towards Herald and try... Because he's got stun up. Flash towards Herald and try to drop a Tibbers stun onto Haunter and Boogie. Maybe that's possible. If you're like, and then maybe you can win the fight if you can take down Boogie and Haunter quickly enough. But Insanity's still full health. Wild Turtle is still there with Flash and Ignite up. Insanity's got Flash. Haunter has Flash. So here we go. Boogie survives. Here comes Impact with the Ornhorn. Vikla, I don't know how he lives there.
Yeah, barely. Barely is how he lives
And
there.
TSM gets completely out with a kill and Herald.
Yeah.
So
we just got out macro there.
Yeah, something else I wanted to highlight is FlyQuest really fucked up on their lane assignment for Impact. If you'll notice, like, if you rewind back to, like, 7:30 or give or take, like, Impact is already down, heading towards bot lane. He doesn't have teleport, he can't TP up to top side, and it's still too early in the game to teleport to a ward 2 anyway. And so, if you're preparing, if you're moving your bot side up to top lane to fight for this Herald, why are you also sending your non-TP'd top laner to the bot side?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So that was an issue. Issue number 2 is, if you'll notice in the fight as it's going on, that Vikla misses a point-blank Tibbers stun onto Insanity. Did you see this?
No, but I'll rewind. We can go back and watch that.
Yeah, so rewind it to the fight, and you'll notice Vikla drops his ult and misses the stun onto Insanity, and then proceeds to walk away and then flashes into the wall.
Whoa. Yeah, that's right. Wow.
That's bad.
Missed, walks away,
whiffs,
flashes into the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's inexcusable at this level of play.
So there's 3 main fight issues I have with this fight. 1, terrible macro call of having Impact go to the bot side. 2, Prince and Vulcan, for whatever reason, being way too far forward with a Malphite on the team. And it's a miracle that he somehow didn't die, because he ate 3 ultimates.
Yeah.
And then Vikla just completely shitting the bed mechanically and not landing any of his skills. Like,
right.
Just, it's a miracle, honestly, TSM didn't clean this up even harder. I don't know how TSM didn't clean this up harder, because it is just a full-on bag fumble here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, you can continue on from here.
Well, that just speaks to the level of play that TSM brings to the table, but then that speaks to the level of play we're bringing to the table right now, which is not good. I mean, that
lower than expectations. Way lower.
Yeah. I mean, 0-3. I mean, looking at the standings while we have a break in the action here, I don't know, maybe Boogie's about to gank. Well, Spica's here in bot lane, but nothing's about to happen. Looking at the standings, we are the only 0-3 team, but there are 5 teams ahead of us that are all 1-2. Okay, so Boogie ulti's in, easy. I mean, that's an easy kill onto Vikla there.
Yeah. So
there are 5 teams ahead of us that are 1-2. So, like, a good week Like a 2-1 or a 3-0 week next week, it completely changes the landscape of where we're looking. And at this point, it's like, okay, let's just already kind of feels like, 1-2 is out of reach, which is wild to say, but playoffs is absolutely still within reach. It's very early in the season.
Yeah.
If we can just turn things around.
Could just be a
It's
bad
fine.
week, and the next might be perfect.
We can pull a Golden Guardians from spring. We can finish 6th and then still end 2nd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And there's not just 3 spots for Worlds. There are 4. That 4th one is going to be versus EU at one point to see who makes it in. Actually, but all you have to do is place top 4, and you're guaranteed at least a best of 5 to play for Worlds. So all right, Wild Turtle going in, really chunks out Prince. And
that Colin doing a lot of work now.
And Wild Turtle's got the he's got the early kill advantage. He's got the tower gold.
As an ADC, I should know this. Does Kraken Slayer apply to Colin shots?
It does not.
Okay, because that would be busted.
So something I want to highlight really quick is that after the Rift Herald fight happens, because the tempo swing is just so bad, Impact didn't get the wave fix bot lane, and then everyone else is dead or chunked and had to back.
Why was Prince in the river?
Yeah, so I'm gonna rewind this and slow it down because
So as it's getting to this, Boogie and the rest of TSM do a very, very good job of getting wards down inside of Fly's jungle and making sure wave states are constantly in their favor and shoving towards FlyQuest at all times. It makes it extremely hard for Fly to get vision down on where Boogie is and what's going on, which is how the gank against Vikla happens in mid lane, because it's just a very clean slide into that brush from his EQ combo, and he waits it out, his ult comes off cooldown, bam, easy dunk, right? And then it's going to be the same thing here in this fight in bot lane. It's yet again just a very great TP from Malphite on top of a great gank from Boogie. And there's nothing Fly can do because there's no vision, there's no preparation, there's no expectation. So all from this one single Rift Herald fight, because TSM gets so much tempo advantage and vision control on the map, all from this one fight.
Dang. All right, so let's watch it. Wild Turtle and Chime backing away. You've got Vikla, Spica in the river. Hiding in the bush, but I feel like Prince Vulcan know they're there. Okay, here comes the TP. Chime with the ulti.
Ooh.
Prince,
Prince just
running into the river, and then he's like, well, all right, Hanser's there. I can't go that way now. And he's basically
kind of stranded.
He's stranded in no man's land. Hanser ulti's in. Super easy kill.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I actually
and I don't think he
he
didn't have flash up. It looks like his flash was still down. So at first I thought, well, maybe he could have flashed out of there, but not possible.
Yeah, I really just want to give props to TSM during this 5-minute period after Herald of because it's all them. There's nothing Fly can do here. They can't stop what's happening. So TSM plays it just super well. And yeah, you were correct, Sandy. Prince did not have flash yet.
Yeah, because my thought was first, well, maybe he could flash that big wall, but not possible.
So right now we're just dumping everyone into the mid lane, it looks like. Probably trying to set up for a better Herald fight. If there is one.
So we do get Herald here.
Yeah, it looks like there's no contest, because they're just like, all right.
I don't...
Figure your setup. They're gonna get objective spot side.
Because Baron...
No, that was the second Hera. Yeah, that was the second one. So we're 1-1 for the Heralds, but we give up a lot of bot side control and push there.
Yeah, you can see our whole bot side jungle is just lit up like a Christmas tree. It is they have full vision of everything in our jungle.
Yeah, that Drake in less than 2 minutes. Yeah,
it allows them to do this right now, which is taking our mid lane turret here in a second.
Right.
Wow.
So yeah, Malphite pushing bot lane freely. So we trade first turret for Herald, which, depending on where the Herald gets placed.
Oh, sorry, Sandy. I didn't realize you were further behind me and Curly.
Oh yeah, so I'm at 15.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you know
Sorry.
what? I never put it back on 1.5. That's what happened. So.
That makes so much sense.
All right, we're back to
Makes
1.5.
a lot of sense.
I'm at 15.
We were
16
giving premonitions.
Right now. 15, 20.
Let me know when you're at 1608.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so 1530, 1540, they're taking our tower because of all the vision they have in our jungle.
Yep.
They know exactly where we are.
Prince is just in no man's land. You know, can't really do anything against 4. Impact goes in. Trades a little bit with Haunter. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be at 1608 in 3, 2, 1 now.
So the rest of my notes for this game, like nothing truly happens. It's just kind of Fly trying to reestablish like vision control and like lane states a little bit.
Yeah.
And then TSM just trying to wiggle their way further down little by little.
Yeah.
The main thing.
It's not as much of a stomp again as it was against 100 Thieves. So like it
was not.
more of a chance here.
So basically, nothing truly major happens until Baron starts, I believe. Let me double check my notes.
Right.
So. Yeah, nothing really major.
They have. It looks like their vision's gone away on our side for the most part, but we don't really have. They have the river warded a lot, and we have nothing.
Yeah, so even though the vision's
a lot of this
gone,
game,
even though the vision's gone, like because the vision was there in the first place and it had to be cleared out, it still allowed TSM to get onto the Herald first. It allows them to have first setup.
So we drop Herald mid lane. But they get drag, and then here comes the fight. Impact gets chunked out hard by Wild Turtle there. Yeah. You do get the turret, but I don't think anyone was there to get any local gold, so it doesn't. Yeah. Doesn't even really do much for us.
It theoretically, if the tempo shifts, it allows us to have better map.
Right. I mean, it really opens up. It opens up the map a lot for us, but like they also have our, mid one down, so it's not. I mean, it just goes back to like an even state of like, and plus they have our bot one down, so like their ability to play the map is just better than ours right now.
You'll notice TSM immediately starts shifting all their focus outside of Haunter, obviously, because he has teleport up. But you'll notice basically. That it's all top side because they're prepping for Baron at this point. TSM's aware they have a lead and that they can have first setup. And basically, they want Fly to come to them. They can't really team fight all that well. So, and then lots and lots of posturing. TSM's taking our jungle, making Spica fall a little bit.
Looks like we're about to try to dive onto this Malphite.
We do get a gank on the Haunter, which is good.
Right.
Because we hate Malphite.
Yeah. So, like, okay, cool, we're getting picks back, but in the meantime, Insanity's taking our top tier 1, and so now like all our tier 1s are down.
We're losing more map pressure.
Yeah, the map pressure is way against us. And I understand that I understand that like you have to play for the picks, but like somebody still needs to be defending that, tier 1.
Something I was confused about is after that gank, you can see Viklas still in the bot lane, but he does not proceed to shove the wave in. It's like you could at least have taken that bot lane turn and got a little gold influx into the Annie and like helped. And so I don't like because immediately Vikla backs and then heads back mid, and it's like I don't know what he's doing right now. Like what is the whole team doing right now? They're trying to get like reestablishment on Baron, I guess. But if we're being realistic, it's 21 minutes in, and you're so weak. Like all you'd be doing is forcing a fight, which they do later on. But like, why are you doing it now? It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I mean, just retrospectively for me. Looking now at the draft again, it's like
and now another tower loss in the bot lane.
I know the Rek'Sai pick is what it is. I really don't like the Annie pick, and I believe we go for it again the next day versus Golden Guardians. I don't like the pick, and I really want to see Prince on a non like late game AD carry. I want to see him get put on an AD carry that does well early.
So Arkham, like, keep in mind, I said Annie, but realistically, you could have kept a second person down there and taken that turret. And it would have been down in instant. So not just the Annie, but like Yeah, it's like I'm looking at it now. The turret was only at 2/3 HP, but you had a wave there. You could have taken that. You could have taken that turret, and you had a little golden.
Something I noticed.
TSM wasn't going to be able to take it down at that point.
Something I'm noticing between this game and then what we'll see with the Golden Guardians game later too is we cannot handle split pushing for whatever reason. We have no answer to it at all. Like we've let Hanser continuously push in the bot lane, like, and get a turret for free without any response. Like we had the one gank, but like that's it, and it didn't get much from that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like mechanically, Impact has been fine these series, but I'm actually starting to watch a little more, and I don't know if it's him making these calls. I mean, it may be, but just some of his macro decisions have actually been a little questionable. Like, why was he down bot lane at that first Rift Herald fight? Why is he not covering like Hanser here? And then I'm sure we'll get into it a little more at the Golden Guardians.
Oh,
so okay, yeah. If you want to pause here for a second,
we're gonna rewind this whole sequence and play it at a slower speed. That's for sure.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so I'm at 23:47 right now. So we've started Baron, and I recall watching this. I watched way more of this game than I thought I did. And I was like, well, I hate it, but we have to do it. You have to try to take this Baron and flip it a little bit because it's the only way you're getting back into the game.
So I actually like the call for the most part because, like you said, you need to flip it and you need to start a fight and you need to get back in the game, right? Like you're getting behind at this point. What I want to highlight though is that once again, Vikla is not on the same page as the rest of the team. You can see him skirting the outside of the Baron wall pit because he knows 3 members of TSM are all right there, maybe even 4. Actually, yeah, 4 members of TSM are all right there. And so he's like, let me get the flank on him, let me drop my Tibbers on him, and then we can just start the fight that way, which is fine. But none of the rest of FlyQuest go with him. And so he's just out by himself, and Hanser comes in, ults him, and then he has to flash and stopwatch to get out, and then it's just done. So it's just, I don't know if that's a Vikla call and the team not joining him, or if the team just, there's some form of disjointment happening here. And I don't know where the communication breakdown is, but it makes Vikla look really bad, but I just don't know if that's like someone telling Vikla to go do that or what. But either way, Vikla needs to be going with the team to do this flank.
The frustrating thing is we like bring this Baron down really quickly. Like we get the health very low.
Yeah. All right. So
we're
gonna
Let's watch it play out.
Yeah. So we're gonna let it play out. So we get it. Yeah, we do burst it down actually.
Like it is being shredded right now. We just get concerned once we think, all right, maybe TSM is around.
We know Boogie's there. So
Vikla goes over there alone.
Right. He has to, and the moment like he gets bursted down like that and has to back out, then it's like, okay, well, he hasn't even had the chance to drop the. He doesn't even get the chance to drop the Tibber stun.
And then the problem here is like we just completely stop assaulting the Baron there. Like if we were sending Annie to the backline to stop them, freeze them up, we could have done that and secured the Baron. Like if the Prince had just kept on the Baron.
The only thing I would say about that though is that you've got Insanity over the wall.
Yeah.
And Boogie.
And Boogie.
You don't want to flip it.
And the smite is what, like 1200 at this point, and
yeah.
So like Insanity.
Absolutely. And I know they're playing.
Burst it down, and then nice pick. I mean, this was a good pick onto Turtle. Like, what was he doing there? But
really good pick. Yeah. I think that Baron fight though, I think you just got to have faith in Spica's hands. I'm gonna be honest, because peeling off entirely like that when you can't really win a team fight is not a good move.
I will respectfully disagree because you're just 50-50 flipping it at that point. When in reality is you have the setup. You can force TSM to come to you,
and you don't have the burst capability that TSM does with.
I say that now we're turning around doing decent.
Well, so this was a good start to the fight, and I saw this fight and I was like, nice, let's go, we got Boogie, and then Hanser is just massive here. He soaks up so much damage. Spica gets taken down. We're still pressing, and his ulti is about to come back up. Boom, there it is. We get blown up.
Damn.
And like at that point it's like, all right, it's GG now.
So yeah, we get the pick on Turtle, which allows us to immediately go back to the Baron dance, which is all well and good. We immediately get the pick on the Boogie, which is all well and good. And so give me your opinion on this. I have faith in FlyQuest to have like tracking of ultimate timers, and so basically they get the pick on Boogie, and they're like, we can keep fighting.
Yeah.
We know that Haunter's ultimate shouldn't be up quite yet, which is true. It's not quite yet. And so do you think it's a matter of Fly thinking that they can burn him down before the ult is back up? Or is it a little more Iron tier and they don't remember the fact that his ultimate is all back up?
You know, I don't have a good answer for that, but
I mean, based on how much
should have been paying attention. They should have known that it's been a minute since he's used it, and it's got to be.
Based on how much they focus him, I do think they were hoping to get him down before he could get it out. So I think the hope was that they could delete Haunter quickly enough. But once you were like, they burst him to 50% real quick. But once it gets to that 50%, it doesn't look like they're doing much damage anymore. And then a couple seconds pass, and bam, they're
and
caught
now
out.
You're down. You're down 5.5K. TSM is on Soul Point.
Yeah.
They've got Baron. They're pushing through mid and bot right now. And Haunter just soaks up every piece of damage. Prince is not able to. Prince is 2 levels down. Prince is 2 levels down from both Haunter and Insanity here. 1 level down from Turtle. Okay, so we've got this TP flank. Oh my gosh. So they see the TP, and Chime just perfectly times the Nami wave. And then onto Vikla. And then he gets blown up. That's so frustrating.
So, yeah. Theoretically, like, I see Zex and Arkham talking about it. It's like, don't you think they just didn't have enough damage? I mean, they have enough damage if there's no Malphite ult. Which is why I was asking, does Fly realize that the ult is almost up? Or is it, like, Iron tier and they don't realize at all?
Yeah.
Because, like, so theoretically, if he doesn't have the ult period, I think you actually can just chase that down. Like, yes, Insanity is there and you have to be careful about that. But I think you can push them off and even kill that Malphite if there's no Malphite ult. So,
All right,
really,
impact here.
I think it just comes down to they didn't track that ultimate timer.
Hey, at least he dragged out that fight against it for a long time. I might be a second or two ahead of you, Sandy.
I'm at 29-23.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm a little bit ahead of you.
That's fine. I mean, this game's basically over, so...
Yeah, so I stopped VoD reviewing after the Baron at this point, and so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can finish it out. We can just kind of talk over it here. I think, yeah, the 2 key instances here for me are... actually, I'll say 3. Hang on, I've got a 4th. Don't hate the Rek'Sai pick. Don't like the Annie pick. Don't like the Aphelios pick. And Vikla, his mechanics around that 1 Herald fight were just atrocious. And I just don't... I don't think we had the firepower necessary to take this team down. You've got a tanky Boogie, you've got a tanky Haunter, you've got 2 carries on TSM side. Like, realistically, you know, we've got the 1 carry, we've got Prince, and he's behind. And so you're basically setting yourself up here where it's like, you're putting all your chips in on Prince, but if he falls behind or doesn't get doesn't get ahead early, then you're just going to have a bad time, because the LeBlanc is going to come online, the Malphite Jarvan combo is just so punishing. And they have so much good engage. And we don't have any good disengage is the thing. So
honestly, my fundamental flaws when it comes to draft is the Annie Rek'Sai. I don't really see, like, I understand the concept of why Annie is supposed to be good. I just don't think it's played out to its full potential.
Right.
And I don't think it's how Vikla... Granted, Vikla this week, overall, everyone unanimously agrees, doesn't look good. But, like, I also don't think this is just kind of what he shines on.
Yeah.
I don't think this is his best work.
So we flip Baron again.
And we got it this time.
Big objective
honestly,
bounty.
But then, are we going to survive it?
Yeah.
Look at all those shurikens. Oh my goodness.
Jarvan ulti comes in. Vikla gets
Prince
taken
is
down.
doing Aphelios things right now to the best of his ability. He's
Sneak is
not
still
getting
off to the
kills off of
side,
it.
Like it's not over, but we're
Oh my
we're
gosh.
flanked.
Yeah, we're getting back
Oh,
door.
and, okay, and they TP in.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaker
Yeah,
tries to get back
I will.
to help.
Ooh. Backdoor by
TSM's not a
TSM
good.
doesn't feel good.
Yeah, TSM's not a perfect team, but I will give credit where credit is due. Their macro is actually very solid and should be respected by other LCS teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leagues ahead of ours right now. I'll give you that.
Ain't that the truth? All right, so
All right, let's go on to Golden Guardians and our arch
hang
nemesis,
on,
Eric
is
Ritchie.
Jad about to get dunked? Let's see if Core JJ dunks Jad here. Hang on, I want to watch this. Oh, that's an Amumu. That's fun. Remember when Amumu was meta for a hot minute?
Fun. I do. It was a good time. Spica had a good time on him.
Oh, this is a Jat stats thing. Which non-jungler flyer GG player had the highest first blood percent? Gory.
You're gonna hate the answer. You're gonna hate the answer.
Is it Gory?
No. I also hate the answer. Because
Is it gonna be like Ayla? Winsome.
no, it's more the
Fascinating.
reason I. Yeah, right. Winsome. The reason I hate the answer is because it's like
What is the worst?
you
start
never
GG
know
has
the
ever had to a
pool
split?
that Jad is pulling these stats from. Because when you hear Flyer GG, you're thinking the current 10 people playing up for those teams.
Right.
You don't think this whole season.
Wow, I hate Mark's outfit here.
It's pretty rough.
All right, Core's gonna throw. Oh, awful, terrible
Yeah.
throw. Oh, Pioshik. Ah,
That
they
looks
missed.
like a world smite right there.
Dang. All right, well, let's skip ahead to the draft now. Knox, you guys ready for this? Let's do it.
Yep.
Sorry, anyway.
All right, battle of the O2 teams. Jungler bands.
I
coming in
loved the
hot.
graphic yesterday. Someone has to win.
Yeah,
That's fucking hilarious. That was good.
It was pretty hilarious.
Okay.
I did enjoy it.
So
We seem
something
to
of
have-
interest that I want to point out is that we banned the Lucian after playing into it twice in a row.
We have trauma from Lucian now. And we've decided Milio isn't it.
Cassante ban again. Nico ban. I feel like is that the third Nico ban we saw against us this week?
Well, it's against every team. No, Red Side
Yeah.
always bans it. It's not just Fly.
Okay.
People don't want to deal with extra minions or surprise wards.
First pick Annie. There it is.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ugh.
So they follow up with Aphelios Sejuani.
Certainly taking.
Are you on a 0.5 speed, by the way, or
Yes,
or-
I am.
yeah?
I just got to Spica's pick. And there's the Zeri. I assume.
It is indeed Zeri.
It is not
Or-
Zeri.
Oh, it's not Zeri. It isn't a Zeri. It's who do we like?
Zaya, Rakan.
Wait. Oh yeah, the Zyricon. Right.
I would have preferred the Zeri. But that's just me.
So here's the thing. What would you? I guess was Lulu available?
Yeah,
Lulu was available, so yeah, we could have gone Zeri Lulu if we really wanted.
yeah.
That would have been fun.
Alright, so you just gave Sej Azir to River Gory, which is a great combo. They ban Wukong. We really ought to be banning, either top lane or support here. Renekton ban.
We are
Renekton-
afraid of the Croc.
Yeah, they ban out double junglers. Yeah, I'm looking.
I just saw this yesterday and I already forget who Spica was playing.
He ends up playing. Well, do you want to just watch? I won't spoil.
We'll play it out, yeah.
Kindred ban against us. So they're banning the junglers. They don't really care what Impact plays. Poppy ban comes through. Curly's fiending over that one.
It is very difficult to ban out Impact. There's not a lot of reason to put bans into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw someone claiming that Impact is a champion pool issue, and I thought that was absolute nonsense. All right, so they take the Lulu.
Yeah.
This draft is taking longer than the last ones have.
Yeah.
Gragas.
They really want
Viego.
Oh,
Viego Gragas. So I here's the thing. I like this draft.
I think this draft is fine. You have a lot of movement and avoidance capabilities from our bot lane. You have a point and click stun from our mid lane that is very great for engage.
You've got some.
You have a lot of versatility in Viego.
Gragas.
Yeah, and then you have a lot of versatility that comes out of having the Viego on your team.
Yeah.
I think in general this is a pretty solid team comp. I was
very
actually
solid
happy
team
with it.
comp.
Only way I think he could have been better is I personally rate Zeri Lulu higher than I do Xayah Rakan, but it is what it is. I think Xayah I saw people crapping on Xayah Rakan, and I was like, why are you crapping on this? It is a perfectly fine bot lane. It is fine. Yeah. It is good. So yeah, I don't know. And then you have Golden Guardians of Yone top, Sejuani, Azir, Aphelios, and then Lulu, which, I mean, honestly, like, these just feel very standard comps, right? I will say there's a little more onus on Fly to get the engage started, whereas Golden Guardians can kind of sit back and just scale. So it's more on Fly to do something rather than it is for Golden Guardians to do something. So I think overall, though, I mean, if Fly plays to what they should play like, which they're not, I think this personally for me, I think this draft is better than Golden Guardians.
No, I prefer this draft for FlyQuest.
It might be our best draft all week.
It was our best draft all week, even with the Annie.
So I will say I did not get to watch this game, and I have not VoD reviewed it, so I'm actually with you guys on this one.
Excellent. We're all in this together.
I watched most of this game.
I watched maybe 15 to 20 minutes of this game, and then expected us
I saw
to
the
win
whole thing.
based on
Never mind.
Based on how it was going.
What time are you at, by the way, Sandy? Just so I make sure I'm lined up.
I'm about to hit 150 in 3, 2, 1 mark.
Okay.
And I'm on 1.5.
Same. Okay, you and I are on the same page then.
Yep. Yeah. So I have no idea how this game ends. I just know that I saw some good things, like some really positive. There were some really positive moments in this game that I don't want to discount. So I'll be interested to see how we end up losing it.
Great kill on the Hoo-Hee. I don't know what Hoo-Hee was doing there. He walked way too far up.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good kill onto Hoo-Hee.
Was...
So, like, look, we've got the early advantage. Like, yes, the kill went over to Vulcan, but look, you take it anyway.
Supportal combat. It's all right.
Yeah, and you've already got a huge lane advantage. All right, so here we go. Hoo-Hee's just walking up.
Yeah, that was weird. That's weird from Hoo-Hee.
And yeah, and you drop the ignite on a half health Lulu. I mean, it's over at that point. Here comes River. He backs away.
The match.
Vulcan tries to go in, and it's not gonna quite work out because he missed the knockup by mere Teemos. But they're still hovering.
Yeah.
Nice stun onto River. Just can't turn it there. Prince really low.
But we
this is all
struck him off our bot lane.
Like, force the flash from Stixxay. Like, we've got huge advantages. Like, Prince still has his flash.
Yeah.
Rivers had to
flash. The whole
flash.
2-minute section was just great.
Yeah. Like, this opening sequence is actually really good from us. Spica's still got his flash.
And Spica's really working the map. He's tired of being out jungled these last couple days. He's putting everything in.
Yeah. No, like, so far this is really good.
Yeah, Prince is down in CS, but that's because he backed to go get the longsword, so he has advantage in lane anyway.
Yeah. He took the call. I think he went
Oh,
back
this is
and
bad,
he went-
Vikla. Vikla, dude. Oh my god, I saw it coming from a mile away. What are you doing, Vikla?
yeah, that was.
And that's something I was kind of nervous about with this. Is like Azir is just a lot better at those 1v1s early on.
Yeah, he's got to blow the TP early.
That was just so disrespectful, though. Like, you should know that he can hunt you down. He can just chase you down.
And Gory's coming back into lane with the lost chapter. You know, Vikla just had to get the Sork shoes. It's like he's just so far behind already.
Impact is weak side top again, and that's fine. Speak is rotating bot, looking.
He's looking. They don't have the. You know. Okay, there's the wards. They do see him now. Get out the ward. Going in on river, kinda. You know, while there's a fight. Get the stun.
Yeah, 3v3.
This was just a weird fight.
Yeah.
Why are
we get
that?
very shredded?
Well, and a good.
That TP is really good, and we end up getting the kill back on the support. And then
Nice
huge-
impact.
And on
the barrel
6A,
was
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
And you get that kill. But then here comes Gory.
That is such a late rotation from
And then
Vikla, but it
boom.
still works out.
Speaka.
Viego.
Yeah, and this is and it looks good from here. It's like
I think it's great right now. Viego Gaming.
yeah, and like
Save
I'm like okay, this
any
doesn't look
bot
too
lane.
bad, you know.
Yeah, okay. So I rewound a little bit, and you can see Vikla just straight up hesitates in the mid lane. You can see him like going back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah,
I mean,
replay.
he makes it. Yeah, he gets the assist on the last one. That's about. Oh my god, that's so frustrating.
Yeah, he's
All
just
right,
like
tell me where
he's
you're at
just-
again, Sandy.
Yeah, he's just sitting mid, shoving this lane before he finally decides to come down.
And then we get another.
But
now
then
we give Vikla a double.
But yeah, now Vikla gets the double kill. So I'm right at like 8-10.
Okay, and so
Oof.
and then the kill on the prince.
Yep, just saw it. So he's just
Was he
sitting
not
there.
6 yet?
Oh,
he was 5. He
no,
didn't have
was
ult yet.
5, yeah.
Yeah, he was only 5.
He did have a good moment later on where he counters the Sedge ult with the Xayah ult.
I'm gonna be honest. What you'll see develop is this becomes FlyQuest for his Eric Ritchie, and he's just an immense thorn in our side.
So they start up Herald. You know, actually, because we've
Ooh.
like, I'm gonna switch my speed to 1.25, just because there's
Okay,
a
hold
lot
on.
happening really fast.
join.
There's a lot happening.
So Speaka gets a kill on Gory. I'm pretty sure they'll do a replay on all of this, but
Yeah.
Prince was trying to force him off Herald at the same time.
yeah, which doesn't work because River got it.
Prince against the world. But overall, still, this looks a lot more even, and like we've got a lot more control and presence than these past couple of games.
Yeah, like this looks a lot better already. So
And Licorice is getting a lot. Like if you look at that CS, Licorice is up 35, and
he's up 500.
chopping away. At
He's
those
up 500
plates.
gold over
Yeah.
Licorice at 10. So I guess we're not going to get a replay, but
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's funny because Impact has actually been making really, really good like map movements and like actually contributing to the map, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's just left Licorice alone to farm.
right.
Exactly. It's one of the things I hated most when I top lane. It's like, all right, when I'm doing good team play, like
Yeah.
the other
So-
top laner can choose to just sit there and make himself bigger, and he does.
Yeah, so Vikla there, like, in my opinion, he just gets lucky that the Tibbers is out and Gory's low enough that the Tibbers can bash the Azir down and get the
Yeah.
kill. Here comes the...
From the grave.
So Licorice tries to go in. Here comes the TP from Vikla. And that play doesn't really go anywhere. And now we're like, all right, we go Ocean Drake.
Everything kind of neutralizes, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, you've got no turrets taken at this point. I am on 1.25 at this point, and I'm about to hit 1130
Same.
now. So,
Okay, you and I are on the same page still.
I mean, the game state is fairly even. except for the Yone's really ahead. I would argue Prince is probably ahead because he's got Noon Quiver already, and
yeah, item-wise, Prince is ahead. Gold-wise, maybe not.
yeah. So they drop
I'd
Rift
say they're
Herald.
kind of even. It's just a matter of build path because
So-
Stixxay has.
Yeah, so they dropped Rift Herald, and they get the Yone even further ahead. So,
I mean, it's pretty easy to spot that he's so
Yeah.
far ahead of Impact that it's like, okay, we're gonna like you're the carry of this game, Licorice, go.
so here Vikla gets the nice stun, but then it's like, I guess he doesn't see the Sedge over the wall. How can you? And you can't react, but
Yeah.
like it's nice that he gets the kill here, but honestly, he just gets kind of lucky. So, in my opinion,
From
I
top
think,
tippers.
I think he just gets lucky because of the tippers.
We're posturing.
We're down.
We don't really have any deep.
We're down 1.5k. You know.
A lot of that is from Licorice, though. To
Yeah.
be fair, I think.
Vast majority is that Licorice, especially because he got the full plating from that Herald. Yeah, this man is playing Farming Simulator 2024 when team fights aren't happening.
Side
And like we
lane.
just,
This is-
you'll
this is
see
where
there.
Prince-
It's like
This is where Prince dodges the. No, I thought this is where Prince dodges the Sedge ult.
no, that's way later. It's in like 20 minutes or at like 20 minutes,
At 20 minutes.
sometime later.
Oh, there it is.
What?
No, that was it right there.
Yep.
Perfect reaction. Gets out
Oh,
of it.
that one. Lol. I was wrong.
So
This
now
game is a blur.
you got a 60% health Vikla matching Gory in the side lane.
So I mean, like at this point of your FlyQuest, like what are you aiming to do? Like it's on you to start these fights, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
with
mean-
your team comp.
I mean, I think you look to keep stacking your Drakes and trying to take fights at Dragon, you know?
So basically, just wait for objective and then fight from there.
Yeah, I think that's what you do.
I think also the something you
Nice.
try to figure out is because they seem to have a good defense on like every turret, so you need to be like, all right, how can I get there? And that is a nice cast
Ooh.
from Impact, but
Nice cast, but like Vulcan can't do anything after he, uses his initial engage, and it's like the fight's over.
yeah, Yone just did Yone things. He's got a good shield, got good healing from that Bork.
And Gory's just free hitting the tower in bot lane.
Yeah,
I think he has to back off here before he can finish it off, but it's like that tower is. Like he
No, he
could be
doesn't.
pushing it. All right, here comes the Herald fight. Sorry, I'm yawning so much.
They sacrifice the bot tower to get priority on the Rift Herald, which it's fine if you can get the Rift Herald.
Which we
And
do.
they do.
So
But now you have to
Yeah.
get out of the fight.
now you have to get out of the fight,
Yeah,
and
now
you've
you
got the
gotta
Gory
escape.
flank, and here it comes. Boom! Right onto Speaker
I-
Vulcan.
yeah.
Impact goes down.
I actually think that trade's worth just impact for Herald. I think that's actually
Yeah.
beneficial for
Yeah.
Fly.
No,
That's not bad. And
but
then
I think the fight could have gone way worse. Is the problem?
Oh, it could have. It absolutely could have.
had the potential. Another wide shot from River. So, like, as nervous as we were about the Sejuani is here, Rivers, he's missing. It's enough. It's fine. These glacial prisons don't mean much.
And then Golden Guardians gets priority on Drake because everyone resets, so the tempo advantage is gone for Fly.
And something you'll notice is this whole time, Licorice has just been doing his own thing. The team doesn't need him.
Right.
And it's kind of... It's a little upsetting that he's able to do that for so long.
They get
Oh,
Cloud
yeah,
Drake
and at this
back,
point, oh, man.
and then Licorice just 1v1 Speaker.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that,
Almost,
it's huge. He gets him down. He doesn't kill him, but
I think this is the point where I stopped watching. So
yeah, at this point, Licorice is untouchable.
yeah, he's 50 CS
just
over.
wait for his build. You're not you're
He's,
not prepared
he's 50
for this
CS
build.
over Impact. He is. Yeah, he's a. He's
gets
the highest
Hull
level.
Breaker?
He's the highest level in the game.
Yes, he gets Hole Breaker. This man gets Hole Breaker. Because he's like, I mean, I'm alone enough anyway. And I'm already winning out in 2v1s. F it. I'll make myself more powerful.
Breaker.
Yeah. The man is insane.
And then Impact gets killed.
Yeah, Impact just caught out. And then they're like, all right, Licorice, we freed up the spot lane for you. Go farm. Have a good time. Ooh, blurry Nox. All right, he's back.
How to refocus the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yep.
Licorice is just split pushing.
Look at that.
So
Okay,
Licorice is just taking these spot turrets.
Smashing
Yeah.
that turret. Yep.
I kind of see where this game goes from here.
Like I said, this becomes FlyQuest versus Eric Ritchie. Except we forget to go versus Eric Ritchie a lot.
Yeah, and they're 3K up at 20. They've broken our first line of turrets. And again, it's the same thing that happened versus TSM. All right, hang on. Trying to go in on River. Vulcan with a nice engage. And we get Gory. And here comes Impact on the flank.
Gory. This is some great topside play.
Wow, that's so lucky on Huhi. Wow.
The Mega Blast Cone saves him. That's crazy.
That's
Any other Drake, he does not live there.
But now we're going to try to go Baron. And Licorice is just free hitting the inhib turret. Okay. Impact went back. Down
but
to 3K.
Here's the thing: that MR is just he can't do much against it. Like Licorice.
Oh my gosh! So now he's just free hitting inhib.
Okay, we got Baron now.
Okay, we get Baron. River doesn't even go across to try. Here comes Gory, takes Vulcan. But like in the meantime,
so much for that Baron.
We gave up
inhib just because of Licorice on Hullbreaker.
Inhib and a kill for Baron. What I was saying a moment ago is like the same issue that we had versus TSM, where like lose turrets early and we lose. We're pressured on the map and we can't respond for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how this Baron power play plays out. Like maybe we get a whole bunch of stuff back off of this. If it turns out that's what happens, then it's worth it in my opinion. You got 2 minutes on the timer. 30 seconds till the Chemtech Drake. So let's see.
So we're setting
bot lane out.
Clearing out Vision and bot river.
Golden Guardians is doing a good job of keeping mid shoved.
Clear out more Vision.
Oh, and then
Licorice is pushing top, but Impact is going to attempt to meet him.
Prince gets the turret in bot lane, which is good, but then they start up. They have the push in mid, and they just start up the dragon. Here we come to collapse. 4K on the dragon. We can't get in there, and they're just going to get it clean away.
If I'm being honest, I don't know why Prince's bot side, whenever it's like, if you want to take the Drake and stop them from stacking it, you need to have mid lane control, and they sent Prince bot side. Like,
right.
I think my guess was they wanted to just make sure they actually get something out of this Baron buff, like you were saying. Because it's like he would be, aside from Viego, he's probably the best to take down turrets right now.
Is that turret actually? Okay. So he did take a turret out of that, so okay.
He did, yeah. So get something. And then Impact has managed to push back Licorice a bit, but my guess is this is more Licorice just being patient and not overextending. Just being like, you know what, it's fine, I'll bide my time. And they do get another turret off of it right here. So we level the playing field a decent bit with this Baron buff.
So to take count, for this Baron power play netted us 2 towers and a lost Drake. And then 1 kill in favor of Golden Guardians, because they technically killed Vulcan off of that Baron.
So get some map pressure, but now we're losing the Drac stack.
But The one thing I think is really good about this is we still have that tier 1 mid turret, which is something we lost way too easily in the other games.
Yeah, I mean, it's one hit away, and now it's gone. So as soon as you say that, and we just lost top tier 2. We do get
but then there's a really weird play from Gory, yeah.
We do get the Gory kill here, and like legitimately, if you ignore Licorice being so far ahead, like the game's still kind of close. Like it's not out of reach.
This is a stable, very winnable game.
This is a winnable game. We are, down 6 turrets, and they did get our inhib, so that's a problem. But like, I don't see this game as being unwinnable from here.
See, the nice thing though about early inhibs is if you just have someone always on that area, that is so much free farm if no one else pressures that.
Yeah.
Like, as an ADC, whenever I have a game where we're doing poorly, and if I can farm quickly enough, I'm always like, let me take the inhib lane,
So
because then I catch up so much.
So right here, Golden Guardians is already set up for Baron. Like, it's a minute till. They have so much vision in our topside jungle. Like, it's lit up. They will know exactly when we walk through. So it's like...
Yeah.
So, and then you've got Dragon a minute after Baron spawns. So they're ready to just go straight to Baron, on spawn if they need to. All right, so we're gonna try to collapse on Licorice. He gets out real easy because he's Yone, and that's what they do.
Yeah, we're not able to get in quickly enough.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, I mean, look at our topside jungle. It is lit up right now. They know exactly where we'll be. All right, so they're hovering back over towards Baron now.
And Licorice is doing the right play with his Soul Breaker. He's like, all right, well, I know they have to answer top. I'm just going to put pressure on bot.
He's got the TP. Impact has Dazonia's. Oh, and the ulti. Yeah. That's just devastating.
Yeah, the cask does not hit anyone, and it's very unfortunate because that could have been a really good play otherwise.
So they're just going to push mid, and then I'm assuming they'll turn straight to Baron here. Yep, there it is. And like I said, they already know if we're going to walk straight through. You can't even bring all 4 to this Baron fight because Licorice is just left alone in bot lane at that point. So now we're just sacking Baron to try to kill Licorice. And we get it, but so we just trade Licorice for Baron.
Not a very even trade.
And because they've pushed top lane so much already, easy free inhib turret.
Oh yeah.
For them, we get Drake back, I guess, but now we're down 3.5k, and they've got Baron. And we've got 2 exposed inhibs. So, like, if it was stable, like, 3 minutes ago, now it's very unstable. Because you've really got to worry about those open inhibs with this Hull Breaker on Licorice's Yone.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, what do you even do? Like, you have to just look for the pick, right? You have to...
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to, in any fight, you have to focus down this Yone. Take him out first. If you take out that Yone, then it's like, okay, the fight is winnable. But if you don't, it's just over.
I think you have to get 5 versus 4 with Impact, and then get a fight before Licorice gets to split push too much. So, like, right now, Impact's looking... I think if Impact can get something here, like that,
really good play is coming up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that was good.
A good dive, decent poke out, and then.
Okay, Impact comes in. Oh wow, great barrel.
Impact is getting a huge flank. Amazing pass.
But Licorice is just going to push mid lane here.
Yeah. Oh, he gets away.
The mini wave. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good from Licorice.
Yeah.
So we get 2, but he prevents us from being able to push anything. Like Licorice is.
I will note their Baron power play here is now it's a -300.
Yeah.
Get the stun onto Licorice, but
we're trying to cut off Licorice, but we're just not quite fast.
He's just too far away.
That was actually a fairly good series of events for us.
Like that actually, it's
from a down position
very much in our favor. Their Baron power play is now
Licorice didn't
-1,000.
have the DP to get behind and cut that wave. We take that mid turret and make a big push. like
Okay,
we
so
have a lot of really good moments here.
Like, now it's back to a winnable state, you know, because they got nothing off of that Baron. In fact, they lost off of that Baron.
Mm-hmm.
And we got, you know, several shutdowns. Like, there's no bounties on Golden Guardian's side anymore, you know?
I'm just trying to think, like, you need to do that again, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think Golden Guardian's going to let that happen again.
I mean, something you see here consistently is the same, like, general play around this side of the mid lane on the red side. Because it's like, well, they know they can't push too far because we can easily trap them on the sides.
Yeah.
And if...
All right, so going in on River.
Gets a good task in. Yeah.
Shredding him decently well. All right. Good kill. Unfortunate that we can't go take an objective. I mean, you can get this mid turret probably. Gory's going to clear out this wave pretty quickly, though. Okay, nice. You get it. But here's Licorice in the bot lane. Destroying Impact. Like, this guy's dead. Yep. There it is.
He runs for a while, but...
And then, so now here comes Vikla.
Inevitably.
And they're going to try... Are they going to kill Licorice here? Like, if I'm watching this live, I'm like, okay, this is kind of good for us.
Look at Speaker's patience. He waits for Eric to snap back, and
nice.
Bam.
That was clean.
Like, this is...
It still takes a lot, because he's got hella sustain, but...
Yeah. Well, you've got no Licorice for 50 seconds, and Dragon's up in 22. Like, you can go set up for Drag now and go get onto Soul Point.
At 33 minutes into the game.
Yeah, 33 minutes into the game, yes.
A late soul.
Yep, and then here comes Drake.
Yep. And looks like Golden Guardians is just going to sack this.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think Spica might just be able to solo this down without being answered.
Yeah, Prince of Vulcan come in, shred it through. Alright, so now it's like... Gold is even. Like, yes, Licorice is probably still very ahead, but... We've got advantages on the other side, and we're at Soul Point. Like, again, back to a very winnable state. Here comes the TP. Vulcan engage. Completely whiffs. And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, honestly,
Dang.
if Gory wasn't able to dash over the wall, we would have had something there, but...
Honestly, that engage hits, I think we win. Because that engage hits, we get a kill or two, we go Baron.
Yeah.
We're just going to go for a 5v5 here, aren't we?
Yeah, okay, here comes... Okay, nice
right
stun.
now, everyone's kinda
Huge
dancing
stun
around.
onto Huhi, so Huhi's dead. But Impact super low, and then he knocks Gory back into us. Wow, what a huge... Oh my gosh.
This fight starts out really, 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 really
Spica.
well.
Oh, wow. Dang, that's so close. That was such a close fight. But now they've got Baron.
The game's done.
Are they just going to end it here? Probably. No, they're... Is River just...
Well, it's funny. What you watch here is River, like, debate. It's like, do I go along with him, or do I let Hullbreaker do its thing? Like, is it actually better?
Well, because there's still... There's less than 30 seconds on everyone, so they can't end here. But they are going to go start Baron, I'm assuming. Dang. That fight was so close.
That fight is one of those fights I take with a grain of salt, because if your first death is shredding down the support, depending on what that support is, I don't think it means too much.
Stixay does a ton of damage in this fight, by the way. He does
Stixay's just untouched. He's just untouched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He really just destroys this fight. Yeah, and there's
and then
Baron.
Licorice is able to use that E very, very well. Like, his starting point is nowhere near where the actual fight is, and so like, if he ever has a point where he's been hurt too much, he can just back out real quick.
Holy! Stixay dealt 8.5k damage that fight.
Yeah, his ulti ripped through Vulcan and Prince, I think. It was Vulcan and someone else. All right, chasing onto River.
Here we oh.
Gory's still there, doing a lot of damage.
That's like two.
Here comes the Licorice flank. Oh,
yeah, Licorice is behind us.
we got. Oh my gosh, we just get blown up here.
Oh, we just got womboed. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got womboed, and that's GG.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, that's all 3 games from FlyQuest this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
At what point do we just ban Licorice from playing against us?
At what point? Something's got to. So I mean, something's got to change for next week. And I want to. Not a lot of time left for us today. But I mean, what's for you guys? Like, what has to change for next week?
I'll just reiterate the thoughts that I put in before the first 2 games, and this third game doesn't really change any of them either. One, Vikla is playing extremely poorly for someone that we imported and is currently rank 1 in North America right now, and was the reason why Prince joined this team, right? Like,
Right.
It is unacceptably poor for how badly he's playing. He needs to step it up. He needs to be a carry on this team. He's not being a carry right now.
Yeah.
Spica has had some issues, in which case I think he's been farming and focusing on farming a little too much when he's getting put behind because he wants to be able to contribute to the game. It makes sense, but I think there's at a certain point where you just kind of need to sacrifice yourself and get your team ahead and then just kind of play a 4v5 because at least you got your teammates ahead.
Right.
Prince and Vulcan, first game was just unacceptably bad. That is just not good. You cannot be doing that. Second and third games were more alright. Vulcan had some really engages in that third game against Golden Guardians at the very end there, and that was just bleh. Prince in the second game stepped forward too far much against Hanser and got Malphite ulted, and then twice actually. And I don't know. If you guys will like cast your minds back in when I did the flight check radar and how I highlighted how in Korea Prince did a very good job of understanding like engage ranges and like just being able to play on the very edge of where he needs to be. I feel like he's kind of lost that. Like, am I wrong?
Yeah.
I mean,
he seems to be in a lot for no reason.
Did not see it. For sure, did not see it this week.
And then Impact. I mean, he's playing weak side. He's doing his job. I haven't really seen any major issues. He's had some questionable macro calls, but I don't know if that's him or if it's like the team as a whole in general. And then in regards to the whole team, like a lot of our macros just not been good. It's just not been good. I don't know what happened because I thought our macro was decent last year. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was decent last year, and now it looks just kind of like trash.
Yeah, I think. I mean, for me, ultimately, as trashy as this week was, I'm not going to be too nervous because we kind of expected hitches with a new squad. Granted, I did not expect it to be an 0-3 week. I expected it to be some scrappy games. But I still think that this team needs to figure out what they are together.
But this is not like a brand new squad. This is like you subbed out your support.
Vulcan. And maybe they're trying a whole new game plan with that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because the main things I'm seeing is a lack of gelling. And it seems to be a consistent, like every summer since we started this podcast, when we have a tough time with every roster, we always talk about, for whatever reason, it seems like the team is not on the same page. And I don't know why that seems to happen, because it is every summer for FlyQuest that the team gelling is just kind of not there.
Not there.
And because, like we've referenced, Vikla seems very late and disconnected to calls, hesitant for rotations. Impact's macro has been kind of questionable. And then it's like Spica in those first 2 games kind of got out jungled a little bit. But that against Golden Guardians, I think he did a really good job. So I think it's just we need to figure out what our game plan is, and if we already have it figured out, we need to change it or develop it really fast. Because what we approached this week did not cut it. We were able to get close. We were able to get close against Golden Guardians, and while that's a team that we ranked 3rd, like just below us at the beginning of the, before the split started, with the fact that we were both the only 0 well, not the only, but we were both 0-2 heading into the last day, and it literally just had to be that someone had to win. It's hard to say whether that's something to be like, all right, we held up really well,
Right.
You know, because they're just one game above us, and we happen to be that game. So it's a really precarious situation.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well,
do we want to do quick predictions for next week and then
yeah.
call it a day?
Hang on, let me look.
Oh
at what-
shit! I didn't even prepare a graphic. I didn't think about predictions.
Nah, I mean, don't worry about it.
we'll just name it real fast. I haven't even thought about what next week's supposed to look like. We've got, oh boy, Cloud9. Hey yo. 04 incoming. Evil Geniuses and Dignitas.
Please let us win against Dignitas.
I'm gonna, you know what? Lose to Cloud9 and EG, beat Dig. That's where I'm at right now.
I'm gonna huff some hopium and hope that narrative is on our side against EG, and that we continue to let Vulcan beat Ayla. So I'm praying for a 2-1. I don't expect us to be able to hack it against Cloud9 based off this week. If anything magically changes in the next 3 days and I'm wrong, bless. But yeah, I don't really expect it.
There you go. And I might change my mind about the EG one is a bit of a flip for me, but like I expect to beat Dig and I expect to lose to Cloud9. I might change my mind on the EG one throughout the week. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to lose to Cloud9. I do think we will beat Dig. I don't think, unfortunately, Tomo and Diamond have not really looked all that good, and Santorin's looked very sus. Jensen as well. Even Rich has looked very good. So yeah, I think we should beat Dignitas. And I'm currently not feeling it against EG right now. I think JoJo is just going to absolutely crush Vikla in lane right now, and it's just going to send us down a rabbit hole. So
yeah.
I think it'll be a 1-2 week. I think our only dub will be against Dig, and so we'll literally be 0-5 before we get our first win.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
just to put that out there.
If that pans out, so like, if our prediction pans out, even if Curly's does, it's like 2-4 or 1-5, and you are a third of the way through the season. That's not a great place to be. So like, still 12 games to play, and like week 3 we've got TL, Energy, Immortals, so it's like, but then even Immortals went 2-1 this week, you know? It's like,
and they had a perfect game.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Team Liquid 3-0. Some of us on this show said predicted them to do much better in summer than in spring. Just throwing that one out there. All right.
Yeah.
FlyQuest Challengers plays in 42 minutes versus Area of Effect Gold. So be sure to get on over there to support them. I don't know what channel they'll be on. I think it should be Challengers. Should be. It is LCS Challengers. I'm gonna sneeze. It is LCS Challengers. So they'll be on at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So be sure to get over there and support those fellas.
In about 40 minutes.
Wave Dash is also happening this weekend. I believe Jmook and Kadoran both there, going through pools, which I believe pools just started 20 minutes ago. So be sure to hit up that stream as well. Lots of great content this weekend. LEC's back. Apparently it's already
they're live right now.
Apparently it's been a banger already.
Mad Lions beat Vitality.
Yep, lots of great things happening. I don't think there was any CSGO stuff going on. I do know the CSGO team got knocked out in the main ESEA main playoffs, so they only finished top 8. Still moving up to advanced next for season 46 though. So that's all good. And that's it. This episode not going on Spotify because we're not going to make people listen to a show where we just talk about things we're watching for an hour and a half. You know, so that doesn't make any sense. But it will go on YouTube. which is fantastic. All right. That's about it. Make sure to follow us all on Twitter. You know where to go. Twitter.com/FlightCheckCrew/SantosDB/NoxWar with 2 R's /curly_QQ_. And that's all. So until next time, no show Monday night. This is the show. This is what you get. Congratulations. You have lived the show. Bit of a different vibe and theme today, but that's what happens when it's Father's Day on Sunday and a national holiday on Monday. So happy Father's Day and happy Juneteenth.
What's on Monday?
Juneteenth, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I am silly.
Oh yeah.
I'm bad at keeping track of holidays.
I mean, to be fair, it's a not brand new. It's like
more recent, last few years.
Second or third year that this has been a national holiday, like federal holidays. So, But be sure to celebrate Juneteenth in the best ways you know how. So until that time, until we come back around, it'll be post week 2. So we'll see how that goes next week. Be sure to stay safe out there. Don't forget to hit the head on the nail. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Adios, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace, y'all.